What it do, y'all? We are back. It's your boy BLK Finesse. Apparently, this is a super, super deep topic that's been going on for a couple weeks now about prenups. This crap is causing a lot of relationships and marriages to end because of the simple fact that the man wants a prenup, wants a woman to sign a prenup. The title is called "Millionaires Making Women Sign Prenups: Modern Woman versus Prenup Compilations." Let's check it out.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chishu Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Let's get it.
Are relationship prenups a good idea?
I say yes. I think that they're a really good idea.
No fault divorce. In the old days, you used to have to say bad behavior, adultery, abandonment, mental and physical cruelty. Now, all you have to do is say,
it's about self-love. And when you start to really work on yourself, love yourself, know your value, know your worth, and then all of a sudden there's this awakening.
But do you see what you just told me? You told me he is positive and dynamic and in his element at his job. And now you're at work, right? And now you're asking him to leave that job.
It's not that I want him to not keep his job. I just want him to move up.
What advice can you give me to try and convince my brother that I think it's for his safety, he should try and sign a prenup? Because I really just feel like she's just in it for the money.
They're not. They didn't get a divorce.
But he's doing her a favor because she's about to turn 30, and you know how it's like super OCD for girls after 30. It's like, oh my god, we get married. So I think they're just trying to rush it. Yeah.
Your Honor.
He's big.
Okay. No wonder I was a little confused because the way their brains are set up, you can tell that they're in it for the money. Prenups isn't supposed to be that harsh. But then again, I feel like the prenups is for that specific reason. For some women who are literally just in it for the money. It's mainly for protection. A lot of people don't like it because it's against the principle and it's against the religion and their mindset on the marriage. So typically it's not really about, the divorce situation because a lot of people don't want to get a divorce. Now, for me, I am, like I said, like a few times to a couple people that I am in the middle. Not to say that I would do it because I wouldn't. It's the fact that it's the idea. I like the idea only because there are people in this modern society that are literally just only in it for the money. They will marry you for the money, and next thing you know, their true colors come out of nowhere. You feel me? And it's for protection, and it's also for responsibility. You feel me? What was mine originally will be mine after the divorce. But that's if you guys get a divorce. You feel me?
An anchor to your kite. He is keeping you and the earth and the ground and stability together so you can fly as high as you want to and never be afraid that you're going to fall off the side of the mountain. How is that not a good thing?
And I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He really is. He's a good guy. But that's the problem. He's just very comfortable.
If I'm done with someone, I'm done. I don't want any of this. Take it. I'm out. I think if you have a prenup or if you have some sort of contract, you're already going into the relationship with an expiration date. You're thinking, I'm gonna break up with you.
women feel that.
I mean, that's just how y'all think. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's literally what you think. Because I feel like the prenup shouldn't make y'all think like that. But then again, a lot of people, they're just going to think like that because they feel, because the prenup is supposed to be preparing for divorce. No one wants to think about divorce, so I really don't think people should be thinking that way, but that's just how people are going to think because that's literally what it is. It's a just-in-case situation. But just be careful of who you're marrying, you feel me? Like, they say it's all about trust, principle, love, and this, that, and the third. We get it. You never know. I personally think that millionaires do it rather than people who don't make that much.
Entitled to alimony, and men feel that they're not.
I personally don't think that marriages should have one.
So if something was to happen, we...
Of course you don't.
There are plenty of women who have busted their butts for their men. They have put into that relationship. Why is it that after 5-10 years a relationship doesn't work, you're gonna throw me out of the house?
Like, just take the house from me? Would you take the house? Would you take the kids? Would you take the cars?
No, I'm not even that type of person.
No,
They say that. That's the problem. They say that until they get emotional. That's literally a protection mechanism. I understand. That's why I said I partially agree with the idea. Because the moment a divorce does happen, God forbid for anyone who does get married, when a divorce does happen, stuff like that happens. The emotions take them over. They want all the smoke. You feel me?
Keeping the house, the car. I'm keeping everything. You're leaving the house.
A marriage license is a marriage license. It's not a fix-a-dude kit.
It's fine, but I don't want him, Your Honor. I don't want to be with someone like that. I want somebody that's gonna fly away with me if that's how we're gonna put this.
If we get married and then you decide to divorce me next year, then you leave with half of it, that's not fair.
But why are you already thinking about that?
Babe, it's something that I have to think about. I don't know why Danny's so surprised. The prenup's obviously something that we need to have in place.
Ridiculous. If you have a plan B, how can you possibly expect A to work?
Yeah.
If you don't put your all into A.
I built a business long before she even came into the picture, you know, and I have to protect that.
Has she mentioned the prenup to you?
You know what? She actually said it during a family outing. She said that if he were to ask that, then he's not the right fit for her. So, and I get it. You know, I think as women, we are all, I guess, secretly gold diggers. We all want a guy that's gonna provide.
Uh-oh.
This is points that's being proven. It's points that's being proven. They want the man to be provided. This is why most of them get offended when they ask about that, because they want what is made. They want what you got. You feel me? Once you're done, then they leave. But they take everything with them, not what's yours as well. But then again, marriage is a contract thing, so what's yours is theirs at the same time. But pre-marriage, what was already yours should be yours. Like I said, I agree with the idea, but not to say I would do it.
She said it.
She said it.
Oh, they're pissed.
Ladies, your strongest weapon is your intuition. If somebody's handing you a contract on day one saying, if it don't work, your is out the door, your needs to be out the door on day one.
That's your divorced woman right there giving advice to other women to follow their intuition. Basically saying, follow your emotions.
Let's say if you end up very unhappy, or maybe you're just like, something can just switch, you know, maybe you can just like, oh, I don't like him anymore. Would you stay married to him for the rest of your life? You're not sexually attracted. You don't like, he's just not funny anymore. You just don't like him anymore.
Do we have kids?
Yeah.
If we have kids, it's not about me anymore.
So you would rather see your children grow up in a home where parents are sleeping in separate bedrooms, they don't talk, they don't hold hands, they don't kiss.
I would rather see my kids grow up in a home where they're at every statistical advantage rather than statistical.
Yeah, now when it comes to kids, I completely agree with it. I completely agree with that, to be honest. Because you honestly, you want your kids to have both your parents. When she brought up the two kids, it's really, you gotta keep them around. You got to. Even if y'all not try to treat each other this and the third, there's gotta be some kind of compromise if you two do decide y'all want to go see other people. But, I mean, a marriage is a marriage.
Disadvantage.
Like, to me, I feel like it'll be different if me and you started when I was 18, going through college, my college sweetheart. Oh, it would be no question.
Makes sense.
Like, nothing.
So what you're saying is I won't with you shooting in the gym.
I was going to be a little more easier. I was.
If you've ever wondered how Steve Harvey has made millions off women by lying to him, you're getting first-hand experience right here on the Coffee Pot.
This coffee smells like shit.
Ridiculous. If you have a plan B, how can you possibly expect A to work?
Yeah.
If you don't put your all into A.
You have to go into that relationship 100% committed, not thinking, okay, if it doesn't work out, this is what I'm going to do.
My marriage was a success.
Now, I'm not sure Steve is lying to him about that particular situation. Who knows? But he is talking to all women, so sometimes, you know, you don't want them to get on the bad side and stuff like that. So I don't know. I want to know his true intentions by himself, like what he thinks about it. Maybe that just might be what he thinks.
Yeah. Okay. I look at it as like a curriculum when you're in college or high school, right? You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're creating. And I was able to create with Corey some beautiful, amazing children. And at the end of that curriculum, and at the end, there's a graduation, there's a celebration.
What's the most humbling experience you've ever had?
Without a question, that would be waking up in the hospital After being married 28 years and your wife's gone, she run off with another man. I was in there for back surgery. I went from having a house on the golf course, a house at the beach, at Gulf Shores, to no house at all.
So I feel like
That's what some women don't understand. Stuff like that happens. That literally stuff like that happens. I feel like they don't agree with it because that's what they want. You feel me? If a divorce were to happen, they want everything that he owned. Even if it's like half of everything, there are some women who swear up and down they're not like that, but there are women out there who are like that. Literally, if a divorce were to come and you see a side of them that you've never seen and stuff like that happens, that's literally what the prenup is for. Like, you feel me? But
you know that I'm not that type of person. What is it going to hurt? We spoke about prenups. Eric thought we should have one. I didn't think we should have one. I'm not against it. It's just wanting Eric to trust me more.
It's all about the trust, Eric. That's it. Just prove the trust. It's not about the money.
I represented a husband. He worked since he's 16 years old, saving money. And he bought a house prior to getting married. He bought it the week prior to getting married. Within 3 years, that house that he had put his entire life savings into was jointly titled. He was so upset that he lost half of that house, half of his life savings.
I'm just not sure if you're doing this because you don't trust me or like you're...
Oh, here we go. The fake tears are here. Put that coffee down.
Put that coffee down. Let me tell you something. I don't know a single person that has a prenup that ain't had to use it.
Did you know that when you get married, everybody has a prenup? Yep.
that's a good point. That's a good point. That is okay. That's fair. That's fair. He doesn't know a single person who got a prenup and who hasn't had to use it. It's a trust factor. It's a trust factor.
Prenup is the state law that you live in. Every state has rights and obligations associated with marriage. So if you get married without drawing up your own terms and conditions,
listen up, man.
Default submitting to your state's prenup.
Ooh, pay attention to that. Pay attention to that, y'all. So if you get married without drawing up your own terms and conditions, you are by default submitting to your state's prenup, which means you and your wife have to come up with an agreement before you guys get married, so you know what to do. Because if you just let them run off with it by default, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, regardless, a prenup, your choice of prenup or not, or the state's prenup, regardless, you're under some kind of terms of agreements. You feel me? And like I said, God forbid if you, God forbid, if you do get divorced, something's going to happen. Normally, it always falls on the male because he's probably the breadwinner, but something's going to happen. Even if the woman's the breadwinner, something's always going to happen.
My question is, why do we really need one?
You need to seek out a real estate lawyer. You have to remember that when you put the other spouse's name on the title, it gives them ownership, and they own half of the house and half of the equity.
It's the number one cause of divorces. Movies like this. I love this movie. I also love Ryan Gosling. But stuff like this sets unrealistic expectations of marriage, and when the honeymoon phase is over, they end up in my office. We call movies like this inventory stalkers for divorce attorneys.
And who falls for those movies? Women.
If you want to know why men don't want to get married a second time after divorce, it's because they lose in divorce.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of men lose their children altogether when they are fit fathers, or they end up with 30% custody while the woman gets 70, and they also end up paying a huge amount of money in child support. Add to that, because the woman won the children, she's also getting a large percentage of their assets, much more than a 50-50 share.
Yeah, literally after the divorce, nothing ever is 50-50. It always falls on the male, which is why the majority of the women don't want the prenup, because they want more of what happens if they get divorced. They just want to win. It seems like it's about winning nowadays. You feel me? And then because it's like they want what they want. It has to be about love to start off. And if they get hurt, let the emotions kick in. I'm taking everything that's yours. I'm at least taking most of it. It's like, dang, you feel me? Like, when the men don't have no say so, and when they bring it up beforehand, oh, it's disrespectful. You feel me?
Found is that Bill Gates did not get a prenup. He did not get a prenup. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the money he had then and the money they have now? And he never got a prenup. If Bill and Melinda Gates hadn't settled and they went to court, the stock market could have been affected. Many companies could have failed. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people could be jobless.
There you have it. So, a lot of you probably watched that video and you thought to yourself, okay, I got it. Don't get married, right? That's where you're at. And I don't blame you. I don't blame any men today who don't see value in marriage, because honestly, if you look at the logic in 70% of women initiating divorce, men getting the bad end of the stick the majority of the times when it comes to marriage, the logical thing to do would be to not get married. So there's that first set of guys who are just not going to do it, and understandably so. And for guys like me, I've said in multiple videos that I will probably get married. I don't know if it's maybe because I grew up in a 2-parent family home, but for guys like me, you know, I think it's important to, first of all, educate yourself. And second of all, understand that you have to take some type of provision to protect yourself if you still plan on getting married. Now, that could be anything. I'm from Africa, man, so I have no problem going under a tree and hiring some pastor to bless us and call it a marriage, because at the end of the day, I don't believe a piece of paper determines.
That right there. I believe in marriage, but I don't believe in the contracts part of everything. You feel me? Because marriage legally requires you to just make everything transactional. Just like how women would want it to be about trust and love and all that stuff, you don't have to sign any papers if that's the case. That's why I said, like, some people you gotta think. You gotta think when it comes to marriage. You have to really think. The states, wherever you live in, literally it's contract. It's transactional. It's a contract. You have to sign off, and everything has to be about money, which is why those topics have been brought up. It isn't just about love and trust. You feel me? The states can do certain things to you, and knowing that the men have the shorter end of the stick, it's always more difficult, which is why a lot of men don't want to get married, because they're signing their life away to a woman. I'm not going to speak on trust. I'm just going to specifically speak on transaction. You're signing your life away to be with a woman for the rest of your life, and one moment you guys end up getting divorced or something were to happen, it's like almost most of your life is gone, because most of that goes to the women, because most of the time the women have the kids, the women have the money, they want the women to make sure they provide for their kid, and that's fine. And the men just don't really have much of a say-so for it. But that's how it is.
Whether I'm married or not. Or you might want to go the route of getting an ironclad prenup. We see that helps and has helped a lot of successful people who are protecting assets, etc. Nevertheless, what you can't deny is it's never been more dangerous for a man to decide to get married than today. Now, you're especially crazy, not crazy, you're stupid if you're a guy who decides to take that step and not protect yourself, right, in some shape or form. Now, are you guaranteed that you're foolproof? I don't think anything in life is guaranteed. And this video wasn't made to shift you in any which way. This video was made to educate and maybe strengthen your decisions and your beliefs, no matter what that may be. But you're a man at the end of the day. Don't let anybody influence you into making a decision when it comes to this, especially a woman that you love, right? Don't let love, blindly loving any woman, put you in the circumstance where now you're getting divorced because you chose to make a decision because you were pressured. She gave you an ultimatum. Don't let family members, don't let people around you pressure you into a situation that you're not ready for. That's the first thing, right? Make a decision that's based in your own choice, right? You decided to do this. And also,
and I'm gonna stop it right here. But what he's saying is actually facts. You know, don't feel pressured into something that, you know, has to be strictly transactional. And I feel like the reason why most dudes don't want to do it, because it mainly only benefits the women, because of the fact that it's the idea of a marriage. You feel me? They only want the idea rather than the actual feeling and emotion of it. You feel me? They say, oh, you don't trust me, or you must not love me, or I shouldn't get with you then if that's the case, and stuff like that. But people get married for the wrong reasons. You feel me? Just like the girl said, even though it doesn't apply to all women, there are a lot of women who are gold diggers. And if you're getting with a man who completely who is a provider, who's literally giving you everything you want to marry him because it benefits you. You feel me? Like, is there love in there for real? And then they get offended when it's like there's no trust in there. You feel me? Like, sometimes you can just see. You can see. So that's why most of the times it happens with people who are already millionaires and stuff like that, because they're going to be with you because you provide for them for that much. You feel me? You provide that much for them. And they don't want to leave you. So the moment you decide to get married to them, it's benefiting them. You know what I mean? Is there really love in there? Because the moment y'all get divorced, you losing almost all your stuff. But comment down, below what your thoughts are. I'm gonna say I believe in it. I just don't believe in the paper aspect. I don't believe in the legal aspects of marriage. Like, I don't believe in it. But like I said, comment, like, subscribe down below. It's your boy BLK Finesse. We out.